This is one that I don't want to get mad at, because she may not have just the game one day. That's why I was glad she didn't win the gun. I want her to have flashbacks or anything. Call of Duty, you know. That's what I want to do to people, though. I just want to grab her on the neck and say, what is wrong with you? You want to bring him out because you're having a problem now. But when you're doing good and he wants to bless you and he wants you to grow. Hey, by the way, when you're on the mountaintops, when you can be growing. Amen? Don't do much growing when you're in the valley because you're mad, you're upset with God, and everything's wrong with God, and this and this. But when you're up on the mountaintop and you believe, hey, God really did something for me. He really did do this. Then that's when you can start growing. That's when you can start doing something. God wants us to make sense. God wants your life to make sense. God wants my life to make sense. But you say to a young man that he's fallen in the fire, fallen in the water, and you say, oh, that doesn't make any sense, and somebody could just take him and hit him right there. Guess what he did? And guess what? In 2019, he can do the same thing today. Whatever your need is, all you have to do, if you want to get something out of this scripture, get this. He brought him to who? Christ. Whatever you have in your life, you need to bring it to Christ. You need to take it to Him. Why? Because it'll make sense after it's all said and done. Because when you take it to Him, then it will be what it is. He tells them, and I love this passage. Everybody knows me knows that I love this. I even got a little vial of mustard seed I'll bring out every once in a while. Some of you remember that, and I'll bring it out because it's so little, bitty, tiny seed. But he says if you'll have faith like that little bitty, tiny seed, you can take that mountain. I was up in Arkansas 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I come up over the Boston Mountains, there at the foot of the Ozark Mountains, and I saw them big old mountains, and I thought, wow, that's what you're talking about, God. That if I have faith, a little bitty, tiny mustard seed, that mountain of whatever's in my life can be moved. You say, preacher, that doesn't make sense. That's just like this guy right here. That doesn't make sense. That's the God that you and I serve, though. And it doesn't make sense. He has it all under control. Do you not think that there was somebody that left His presence on this very day that was a pretty excited and happy man? One, the dad, right? Two, the young boy. Pretty nice to walk by fire and not have to fall in it, right? Pretty nice to walk by the water and not have to be pulled out before you drown. Or that fire before you're harmed. Doesn't make sense. I'm sure that they, on their way home, was thinking, wow, we've met up with somebody that we've never met up with before. And today in your life, hopefully you've come here on the 10th day of November and you have said, I need to meet up with that one that you're talking about, preacher, today, because I need to leave here thinking, man, I've met up with somebody today. I've met up with somebody that's going to change my life and make my life make sense. It says, and as they were gathered in Galilee, Jesus said to them, the Son of Man is about to be delivered into the hands of men, and they will kill him, and he will be raised on the third day. And they were greatly distressed. When they came to Capernaum, the collectors of the two tax went up to Peter and said, does your teacher not pay the tax? And when they came to Capernaum, the collectors of the two tax went up to Peter and said, does your teacher not pay the tax? For he said, yes. And when he came into the house, Jesus spoke to him first, saying, what do you think, Simon? From whom do the kings of the earth take toll or tax? From their sons or from the others? And he said, from others. Jesus said to him, then the sons are free. However, not to give offense to them, go to the sea and cast a hook and take the first fish that comes up, and when you open its mouth, you will find a shekel or a coin. Take that and give it to them for me and for yourself. You take one passage that has him healing somebody. You take another one where there's a dilemma about do you pay tax or do you not pay tax. And by the way, today, if you don't pay tax, they have a nice little jail cell for you. So I would recommend you pay your taxes. That's all you'll ever hear me say about taxes. That's the only time I ever say it when I read that passage right there. Someone says, "Hey, Rick, yeah, I pay taxes." I would recommend you pay your taxes. But you take one passage that had, or in the same passage, you take him that has taken and he's healed somebody, and then there's a dilemma arises. Do we pay our taxes? Do we not pay our taxes? He says, yeah, we need to pay our taxes. And he said, let me do one thing for you. And I don't know about this, about tax time. I'd like to have a fish like this. I'd like to have one if you go over here to Gibbons and pull a hook out and pull one in, or go over here to Somerville and pull a hook in there and pull it out. Russell, if that ever happens, let me know, would you? All right? But he goes and he says, and so go out there to sea, cast a hook in, and the first fish that comes up, the first one, open his mouth. I don't know about you, but I've read this 1,000 times. Every time I read it, I was like, I'll be honest with you. When I first heard this as a kid, we fished all the time at my house. I mean, it was 3 miles from lake, 4 miles from lake, wherever it is. And I'll never forget my little Sunday school teacher teaching this one Sunday. And the very next time I went fishing, I opened that fish's mouth. Of course, it was a little crappie. It had to be a little penny or something. I wouldn't have been able to see very much. But I went to open it, and I'll never forget as a boy looking in there thinking, what if there's any money in there? I wonder if there's something in there. But when you just read that doesn't make sense. 2019, that doesn't make sense. With all the technology, all the things we have, all the phones that think for us, and all this kind of stuff, doesn't make sense. Truth's known, a lot of things God does doesn't make sense. But just because it doesn't make sense doesn't mean it's not right. Doesn't mean that he doesn't want to do something great in your life. Doesn't mean that he's not wanting to take care of you. And in this, he is telling him, even though the world doesn't make sense to it, and even though it doesn't make sense to us sometimes, he's saying, I'm still the God that if you throw one out there, if you throw one hook out there, I'm going to provide one hook. Did you notice he didn't have any bait on there? Did you notice that? He didn't say bait it up either, did he? Here's what I believe. I believe just bare hook, throw it out there and fish go. That's just me. You know why? Because it's God. When you deal with God, God can do anything. We live in a world today in 2019 that we go and say, well, God gave me a brain, I'm going to use it, I'm going to do my way, and I'm going to do this. You know what? God's still your Father, and you need to listen to Him. Y'all ever have an earthly father tell you that? I'm still your daddy, you better listen. About time he got his belt off. Right? What was he telling me? Listen to me. God's looking down from heaven and he's saying, I can take care of it. It doesn't make a lot of sense to you, but I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to give you what you need. Amen? Would you agree with that? He didn't say what you wanted. It's what you need. What you need. What they needed. He didn't need 10 fish with corn in the mouth. He just needed one. And that's what he got. Didn't make sense. Didn't make sense then. Doesn't make sense today. But with God, it makes perfect sense. When you understand God, I don't know what you're facing today. I don't know if you need to quit following the fire and quit following the water. I don't know if you need a coin in the fish's mouth. I don't care what it is that you're coming to. We can go. I can flip through here if you want. If you want me to take time, I can flip through here and I can find something that'll hit your life. I guarantee it today. Because we serve a miraculous and wonderful God that has an answer. But if you and I want to continue to say our way is better, by the way, it's not. You and I mess things up. Your way is not better. I have people tell me all the time, well, I've got this figured out, and this is the way that we're going to do it. No, if you don't do it God's way, you're going to mess it up. It's not your way. And by the way, I don't mean to take anybody's, their self-esteem and crash it today, but your way will never be better than God's way. Ever. Our way is easier. Yeah, that's a true statement. But easier is not always better. Your way may be easier. But easy, you don't get anything out of it. If it's easy, you don't think of it. You go home and you guys, let's just say a fourth grader in the house like we've done. You take a fourth grader home and you just say 1 plus 1 and just give him all 1 plus 1 all over his page for his math problems today. That would be easy. But you know what you're doing? You're not helping him one bit. But you put something times something equals something, then you got to think. Right? Easy's not always better. If you're trying to live life like easy, I want it easy, I want to be able to scoot through this thing. There is nothing in the Word that says you're going to scoot through this world easy. Nothing. We're still going to have problems. We're still going to lose our friends, aren't we? We're still going to have issues. We got some right today that are hurting in our midst today. Ain't nothing easy about life. There's nothing easy about life. But we have thousands upon thousands sitting in the church house today across this country that are saying, I want it easy. I'm not going to lie to you, it's not easy. I was talking to someone yesterday about something totally different from what I'm speaking about today, and I mentioned that it's not easy. And I said this, when you get close to God, Satan comes in, and then it makes it difficult. He really wants to make it difficult. So you keep telling yourself, my way's easy. My way gets results. I love that one. Everybody I ever talk to, when they're doing it their way, they say, my way gets results. I get results. Then when I show them, their results stink. No good. Just like me coming in, and Danita has this, you cook it here, do this, and then I try it, but I think it's an easier way, or I can do something different here. I can get results quicker. We was cooking something the other day, I don't even remember what it was, and we was cooking something, and she goes, well, you got to do this, and do this, and this. No, I don't, I'm on the, it was chicken strips, that's what it was, chicken, our blessed chicken strips that we touted or decided we used it. And she goes, you got to do this, and I said, no, when I was a kid, we didn't do it that way. Throw them in the greens right now, throw them in there. She said, they're going to cook too hard, they're going to cook too fast, and they won't cook in the middle. I said, don't worry about it, I've done this when I was little, I was young, I used to do this all the time. Don't worry about it. So I threw it in there. I pulled that thing out, and Lily was just waiting. Lily was the little instigator at my house. She was just waiting. She was waiting for me. I went to cut in that thing, Russell. It's hard as a rock. Lily, smart aleck, like her mom sometimes. She said, what's wrong? I said, well, we need to go in there a little bit longer. She said, it didn't work, did it? You know what happened? My way didn't get any results. My way didn't get the results that I wanted. You and I are just like me in that kitchen. You and I want all this to happen right now. I can do it. I can do this. I can do that. And I can do it. It'll happen. And guess what? Your results don't work. You don't know how many times I've thrown things away that you didn't ever know anything about it. You know why? Because I didn't want to hear that. I'll go to the store and buy cookies before I bake them and bake them too long and get them too hard. I'll go to the store and get some. You know why? Because we don't want to admit our results are wrong sometimes. You and I, on the 10th day of November, need to get our heads on the fact of this. Your way is not better. Your way does not get results. And God's way is the only way. And until you and I look at at ourselves and say, well, this makes me feel, but you need to quit going on feeling. I'm tired of the church looking at feelings. We talked about that a couple of weeks ago. You come in and you worry about this feeling or that feeling. You need to get the drama out of your life, and you need to allow God to come in and do some real feeling in your life. And that's changing your life. Because if you're going on the music, you're going on the preaching, you're going on who looked at you, who didn't look at you, who shook your hand, who didn't shake your hand, that is crazy. That doesn't make sense to me. And it doesn't make sense to God. What makes sense to God is you open your heart and say, God, it doesn't make sense what you're doing, but I'm on it for the ride today. I'm here with you today. I'm right here. Look at your life today. Look at your life and see what's going on in your life. Last night I have a little song listed on Saturday nights when I'm at home, and on my phone there they'll play once in a while. And one of the songs that come up was "If You Knew Him Like I Know Him." If you knew Him like I know Him. And I thought, man, that is so awesome. If you knew Him, the song talking about if you knew God like you really need to know, and that He's a living God, and He's a wonderful God, then you and I would have something in our life. Another one that came on last night before I went to bed, and it said He counts the stars, He watched the sparrows fall, and He knows you. If He can watch the stars, place the stars, and watch a sparrow fall when He knows the very hairs of your head. Some of us don't have as many as others. But He knows that. That's the God that loves you. And even in our passage today, even in this passage today, as he mentioned in verse 22 there, it says the Son of Man is about to be delivered into the hands of men. And then the journey begins for you and I, because He is a difference maker. And He's in our very presence today. And even though it may not make sense to grab a hold of the hem of His garment, that woman that had an issue of blood, that the Scripture says that when she grabbed the hem of His garment, she would tell you different, that He is and He does make sense. Your way and my way is not better. And if you're coming here with that attitude, my way, my way, my way, my way, God will not be able to do what He needs to do in your life until you say, God, your way, I do not understand. I'm going to tell you, I'll be honest with you, I go to Him all the time and say, God, I don't think it'll make sense. This does not make sense, but we're going to do it your way. You know why? I go to the doctor sometimes, and my doctor, she doesn't make a lot of sense sometimes, but she tells me, John, you've got to do this. And guess what? I'm going to trust her. Because she's went to school to do all that, take care of me. That's the same thing that I do with God. God, I don't know, I don't understand this. But I'm going to lean on you today. Look at your life today, maybe just like this young man with his ice cream cone in the 30 below zero weather. Whatever it is. May not make sense. Maybe you're here today and you say, my life doesn't make sense, preacher. It just doesn't seem like God is the answer. Don't you ever make that statement until you try it. And when the answer, you know how the answer is going to come? You're giving it totally to Him. Here's what happens. People say, He's not the answer. You know what? You're going to give it to Him. You gave Him a little bit of it. Well, He didn't help me with that. You know why? Because He didn't want the little part of it. He doesn't want just part of your life. He wants all of your life. He don't want just your heartaches. He wants your joys too. He wants everything in your life. Oh, you got a song for us, I'm sure? While this song plays and you stand, I want you to come to the Lord, and I want you to look at Him today and say, God, your way doesn't make sense to me sometimes, but I need you to come and to move in my life today. I need you to work in my life. Or maybe you look at Christ and you say, man, He's done some great and wonderful